Welcome to New Perspectives. I'm Casey Davis-Uçok, and today we're taking a closer look at modern marvels of Türkiye. Türkiye is a country shaped by geography, scale, and constant movement. It sits between continents, along major trade routes, and is home to cities that operate at enormous speed and density. Across the country, large-scale infrastructure projects are changing how people move, how cities connect, and how the country operates day to day. They are working systems, used continuously, tested under pressure, and designed to handle volume. Türkiye faces challenges that few countries experience at the same time. Megacities with growing populations, complex terrain, seismic risk, and a central position in global transportation networks. Let's take a closer look at the project shaping how the country moves, functions, and connects with the world today, along with a couple that define modern Türkiye beyond transportation. We begin in Istanbul, at Türkiye's main point of entry to the world, and you'll notice we spend a lot of time here, since many of the country's most complex infrastructure projects are concentrated in the city. Istanbul Airport officially opened in 2018 and became fully operational in 2019. The main terminal was designed to handle up to 90 million passengers, with future phases planned to increase capacity even further. What makes the airport an engineering project is how its systems work together. Instead of expanding through separate terminals, it was planned as a single continuous structure. Passenger flow, security, baggage handling, and aircraft operations all function within one integrated system. From above, the airport looks less like a building and more like a network. Multiple runways operate at the same time. Aircraft move continuously along taxiways, and inside, passengers, cargo, and crews move in parallel throughout the day. The terminal's wide-span structure reduces internal columns, creating large open spaces that support constant movement. Airside and landside operations run simultaneously, allowing aircraft, ground services, and terminal activity to function without bottlenecks. The airport's role extends beyond tourism. It supports business travel, cargo logistics, diplomatic movement, and regional connectivity. Many passengers never leave the terminal, yet their journeys depend on Istanbul as a transfer point. Designed to operate around the clock and expand without disruption, Istanbul Airport functions as an entry point, an exit point, and a connector, linking Türkiye directly into global networks of travel and trade. Moving west, the focus shifts from air travel to overland connection. The Çanakkale 1915 bridge crosses the Dardanelles Strait, linking the European and Anatolian sides of Türkiye. It creates a continuous road connection across a waterway that has shaped movement and strategy for centuries. Before the bridge, crossing the strait meant relying on ferries and on weather, schedules, and congestion. Travel times were unpredictable, especially for freight and long-distance traffic. The bridge changed that by making the crossing constant and was open to traffic in 2022. From an engineering standpoint, the scale is unmistakable. The bridge holds the world record for the longest suspension bridge main span, stretching over 2,000 meters across open water. Towers rise high above the strait, with cables carrying traffic across a wide and exposed channel. The name 1915 references the Gallipoli campaign, linking the bridge to the historical significance of the Dardanelles Strait. In daily use, the bridge shortens travel times and strengthens logistics across western Türkiye. Passenger vehicles and heavy freight now cross without interruption, in conditions that once would have caused delays. The bridge operates continuously in all weather as part of a major transportation corridor. From fixed crossings, the focus moves inland to railways. Türkiye's high-speed rail system connects major cities, including Ankara, Istanbul, and Konya. The system began operation in 2009 and expanded through the 2010s, changing how long-distance travel works within the country. On key corridors, trains operate at speeds of up to around 250 kilometers per hour, making rail a practical alternative to both driving and short-haul flights. Much of the network runs on newly built corridors designed specifically for high-speed travel, using modern signaling and safety systems. Lines cross complex terrain and seismic zones, requiring extensive tunneling and careful integration into dense urban areas. High-speed rail is used throughout the day by commuters, students, professionals, and families, turning trips that once required planning into routine travel. The system functions as a reliable backbone of intercity mobility across central Türkiye. In Istanbul, once again, geography creates a constant challenge. The Bosphorus Strait divides the city between Europe and Asia, shaping how people move, work, and commute. For centuries, crossing the strait meant relying on boats, ferries, and surface routes, all vulnerable to congestion and weather. Marmaray introduced a different solution. Opened in 2013, the undersea rail tunnel runs beneath the Bosphorus, allowing trains to travel directly between continents. It forms part of Istanbul's commuter rail system and carries large numbers of passengers every day. The tunnel stretches roughly 13.5 kilometers as part of the larger Marmaray project. Building it required specialized engineering to manage water pressure, depth, and seismic risk. The immersed tunnel section was designed to withstand earthquakes while operating continuously under heavy use. In practice, Marmaray functions like any other urban rail line. Trains stop at stations on both sides of the city. Passengers board, cross continents, and continue their commute without disruption. That simplicity is intentional. Marmaray was designed to integrate directly with existing metro and rail networks, reducing transfers and easing pressure on surface crossings. By shifting large volumes of commuters underground, the system reduces congestion on bridges and ferries and provides a reliable daily alternative to road travel. Not far from Marmaray is another undersea crossing, built this time for road traffic. Opened 3 years later in 2016, the Eurasia Tunnel provides a direct road connection beneath the Bosphorus. It serves private vehicles, taxis, and commercial traffic, linking the European and Asian sides of Istanbul through a controlled limited access route. The tunnel was designed for drivers who need predictable travel times, especially during peak congestion. By running beneath the strait, it allows vehicles to bypass surface traffic on bridges and coastal roads. From an engineering standpoint, the challenges were different from rail. Designers had to manage water pressure, ventilation, vehicle safety, and emergency response systems within a confined underwater space, while keeping traffic moving continuously. The tunnel operates under strict controls, with speed limits and vehicle restrictions in place to maintain steady flow and safety. Together, Marmaray and the Eurasia Tunnel create a layered system for crossing the Bosphorus. Rail and road operate independently, each handling a different type of demand and easing pressure on the city's surface routes. Next, we head to the water, and for decades, much of Istanbul's central waterfront was closed off by port operations. Cargo handling areas and security zones cut the city off from the Bosphorus along this stretch of shoreline. That changed with Galata Port. Opened in 2021, the project redeveloped the area while keeping port functions in place, reopening roughly 1.2 kilometers of waterfront as a public, walkable space in the heart of the city. One of its most distinctive features is the underground cruise terminal. Ships dock below street level, with passenger processing and luggage handling moved underground. Above, the waterfront remains open, allowing pedestrians to move freely along the shoreline without interruption. Today, residents and visitors share the space. Locals walk along the water, while cruise passengers enter the city without displacing public access. Architecturally, the redevelopment balances contemporary design with the surrounding historic fabric. The goal was to integrate port activity into everyday urban life. Galata Port operates throughout the day, coordinating maritime arrivals with public use. Its success depends on that balance, turning a once restricted zone into an active part of the city again. We'll now shift away from Istanbul to Ankara, Turkey's capital and home to AFROTURK TV. Opened in 2014, the presidential complex serves as the official presidential residence and a central site for executive offices, state meetings, and ceremonial functions. Built at an unusually large scale, the complex ranks among the world's largest presidential campuses by land area. Its architecture emphasizes symmetry and permanence, with administrative offices, meeting halls, and ceremonial spaces brought together within a single self-contained site. The layout is organized around controlled access and internal hierarchy. Layered zones separate ceremonial areas from executive and administrative functions, allowing the complex to support governance, security, and large-scale state events. And lastly, just across the city, Ankara offers a very different kind of modern space. Opened in 2020, CSO Ada Ankara is a contemporary concert and cultural complex built on an artificial island along the Ankara River. The site was designed as a public zone, open, walkable, and set apart from its surroundings. At the center is the main symphony hall, a circular structure shaped by acoustics rather than appearance. Its geometry was engineered to distribute sound evenly across the audience, reducing echo and limiting the need for electronic amplification. Inside, layered surfaces and suspended acoustic panels control how sound reflects and dissipates. Materials were selected for acoustic performance, while reinforced concrete and steel support large, column-free interior spaces. This allows clear sight lines, flexible performance layouts, and strong isolation from outside noise. Paths run through the site, water surrounds it, and the complex stays active throughout the day. Together with Ankara's administrative core, CSO Ada highlights another side of modern Türkiye, where engineering and design are used to shape shared public life. As we close out today's episode, I want to say thanks for taking a look at modern Türkiye with me. Let us know what you'd like for us to talk about next. I'm Casey Davis Uchok, and you've been watching New Perspectives. Until next time, stay curious, keep discovering, and stay tuned to AFROTURK TV.